people who, when they get into companies or when they have startups, they actually have a change because they are the one who are deciding the technologies the company uses at some point. Because they then grow, they then move into their careers, and they have all of that experience, all of that background that they use in order to influence decision making.
Yeah. So that's very important even for the new technologies. So you as a leader, one of the things that actually made you involve developers at different levels over time, what is that one thing?
What made me want to?
No. Let me give you a case in point. So you organize events, right? You organize hackathons. And with the kind of events that you're organizing, people don't pay, right?
No, they
so
don't.
What do you think made them keep coming?
Let me start with me. What made me go to hackathons?
Superstar.
No. It's what made me go to hackathons. Yeah. And I think it's also what motivated others is to build new things. The fact that they just want to try. Oh, is it that thing that I don't know yet? Being curious. I like shaping Africa. We want to shape Africa. African developers want to shape Africa. But they also know that they need the experience. Okay, so where do I get that experience? In those hackathons, you have experienced people. You have those who are starting out, and you have those who are just trying to find a way around. And then when you bring those people with different levels of experience and knowledge, then that's what happens. Like, oh, okay, this is what... let me tell you something very funny. Yeah. I was so knowledgeable during my first hackathon. People were like, okay, you lead. People older than me who had a lot of experiences. I was not even working for a company. I knew nothing.
Yeah.
And then that's when you realize you actually have to be able to be humble. You have to listen.
Yeah.
Because the person who is in charge is not always the most knowledgeable person.
Yeah.
It's not always the one with the most experience and knowledge. So you have to listen. Okay, what are these people telling me? Okay, this is what it means. How do we make something happen with that? How do we manage relationships between younger people and older people, and how does that work? Because younger people need what the older generation has. Older generations also don't have the youth and the energy and the new things that the young ones are bringing.
Yeah.
You have to find a way around that.
Yeah. So also now it becomes like a full iteration whereby you are curious about, like, you are meeting new people, you are learning new knowledge. And then these people also, they find that they're also growing because also they are understanding the young guys. The young guys, can get to meet new people, older people with experience. And it's a full circle, like how it works. Amazing stuff. So you finish your undergrad, right?
Yes.
And graduate. So what made you go back for masters?
It was always in my plan.
Okay, so you'll do up to masters, PhD, and all this.
Yes, for me, not always PhD, but having the master was just, for me, it's just obvious. You do your lines, you undergrad, you do masters. That's it. Yeah. Maybe multiple masters, but you do at least one master. Yeah. That was always obvious for me.
And still in computing?
No, other masters in other things, or maybe more specialized masters.
Oh, I see. So, okay, yeah, because like some of my colleagues who graduated with them, like they go for masters, things to do with MBA and all that. And I'm like, okay, that I understand. You want to know how management works, how business works, how can you scale business. But if you go and do maybe, say, computer science, you can only code so much, right? But I understand if someone maybe wants to focus with AI or information systems, it's also understandable. But for me, if your key focus is to build solutions, there are a couple of routes that actually you can take. One, you can keep building these solutions and teaching yourself how to build them, which actually is longer, but also it's really worth it over time because you are learning as you're doing it, which also I think most of the undergrads understand over time, either the hard way or the easy way, such that the easy way, they join the community, they understand this, how to learn things faster and implement them. Or the hard way where they fail the exam or their project and they're like, why is Mariam building a good project than me? And then they realize Mariam belongs to different communities and he has access of special knowledge that is out there in the industry and I don't. But those are just scenarios. So, and I'm not discouraging anyone to do masters. Please, by all means, even PhD if you want, because also we need research, you need all these other, aspect of growth. knowledge accumulation. So once you graduated, you did your master's. Did you finish it? You said you didn't.
Yes, I've kind of finished it, but I did not submit my paper yet.
Why not? The thesis.
Well, I've been volunteering a lot and then work because I'm also a global shaper now since 2019. And then I've been doing traveling a little bit and that took a little bit of time. But yeah, I want to finish it.
So where have you been volunteering?
So, I mean, being a GDG co-lead is volunteering. Being a woman tech maker ambassador is volunteering. Being a global shaper is also volunteering.
Can you please tell us what these things mean? Because like GDG, I understand it's a good developer group, but what is that for you every day? Women tech makers, and all these other, opportunities that you create.
So GDG first?
Yeah, please.
So for me, GDG is bringing the community together. Trying out using those tools that Google is putting out for the developers. Testing it out, seeing what works for us, what doesn't work, what we can improve, giving feedback. Because they also give access sometimes to free tools that developers can use and test. Because, I mean, obviously, most of the time, developers are broke. Let us try. Yeah, guys, let us test, And they have tools, to build that experience. So it's that. It's also, and again, sharing experiences with those who've been there for a while. When I take Women Tech Makers Ambassador, as I told you, there were not many women in my classes throughout my undergrad and even during my master's degree. Not many women, and there's a lot of stigma, a lot of I want to say trauma. There's a lot of in that field, There's a lot of there's a lot of women should not, women should not. There's a lot of gatekeeping. There are many things.
A minute.
Yes.
What do you mean there's a lot of gatekeeping?
There is gatekeeping. There's gatekeeping.
Like there are women who don't want other women to thrive?
Yes. And there are also men who sometimes, because of sometimes people's traditions and culture, they feel like, women should not be doing this.
Yeah. Do they consider it like a zero-sum game? If there are more women, then means less jobs for us or less opportunities for us?
No, I think it's more about mainly ego. Like that woman cannot be on top of me. Because if you have the potential and the knowledge and the experience, it makes sense that, you're probably leading a team with men in it. But yeah, you will find men who will just be, they'll be like, no, that's a woman.
Yeah.
No.
So the discussion starts from, you are a woman.
Yes. The you are a woman is a problem. Your woman is a problem.
But is it what?
I once, one of my classmates wrote to me on Messenger, and he was like, you're so good at what you're doing for a woman.
Okay.
I was like, bro, don't do that.
Chill.
Because even in classroom, I am better than you. You are in the back, way at the back, in all of the programming classes. No.
Yeah.
Where do you even get that fierceness? Why are you proud? Do better.
That's what you said?
I told him, for a woman, what do you mean? And he's like, for women and everything. I'm like, no, this is not a compliment. This is an insult. If you want to say I'm good, say I'm good. That's it.
Yeah.
Because even between my peers, men and women, I'm good. Then why should I be good for a woman? Do you see that? Do you see that?
I see it. I see. I read you.
When a man is good, they're not saying you're good for a man.
For sure.
For men, you're good. No, they're not saying that. They're saying you're good.
You're good, yeah.
Be good. If you're good, you're good.
Yeah.
If you're not, you're not.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just brain.
Yeah. And the effort and the curiosity and putting your best foot forward. So
yeah,
I mean that makes a lot of sense. So what other experiences like women in tech? What does that entail? Like, do only women come for these events?
No, those events are open to both men and women. Actually, we encourage men to come so that they can understand the bias and sometimes the discrimination that is happening, and so that they can help building those inclusive communities. Because putting men on the side of the conversation does not make sense. You know, they're included in those conversations. They need to know what is happening, because when you're outside of something, sometimes you might have issues understanding the scale or the scope of it. But you need to be included in the discussions.
Yeah.
It could be talks with women who are already in the field, who are sharing the experiences. Okay, so this is what I went through, and this is where I am. These are the tactics, the strategies that you can use, you know, to move on with your career in that field despite all the struggle. You know, basically giving hope, giving proper tools, and saying that this is possible. This is about if this is what you want, it is possible.
Yeah. So it's more like, you know, finding a place where, you know, you can say it's doable, you can do it, someone has done it, you know, and this is the way to do it.
There is a way to do it.
So do you guys like do code, you know, like, you know, designs,
Women
UI,
tech
UX?
makers?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it's women tech makers.
Okay.
But the tech is not only
No, I've never
software
seen women
engineering
in tech that
don't code.
they just meet and have, you know, like discussions. But that actually didn't end well. So that's why if anyone actually is in, the intention is to, you know, empower or just give the platform to women. Number one, if you want them to be good in engineering, they have to do it. Whichever engineering, line they want to follow. It's not a matter of just motivating people and chest thumping and showcasing of people already were in. No, you have to do it. It boils down to that.
Yes, I mean, I understand, because when you are told repeatedly that this is not and you cannot do it, it is important to know that some people have already done it. That you're not crazy. You can do it. That is very important.
And do you think
representation matters? People don't know that, but if you see girls not thinking about science jobs, it's because in their minds, most of the time, this is not even an option.
So already they have been put in a place.
They have been put in a place. Your job is either to get married or you get those, I mean, what people would call the job that are actually not easy jobs. But they think it fits better the mind of a girl, you know.
Not that being married is a bad thing.
No. I'm not even talking about marriage.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, you know, I'm not denigrating anyone, but they would tell you that being a hairdresser is more for a woman, for example. You know, cooking is more for a woman. They will say, okay, go and make clothes. It's more for women.
Yeah.
So I'm talking, those are more manual.
Yeah.
Of course, it needs creativity. Those are arts,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But then when it comes to science and maths, they will tell you that this is not made for the brain of the woman, which is crazy because the first developers were women. But yeah. That's because I mean, even during those events, to add on to what you're saying, they are technical sessions. Women don't just come and talk. Oh yes, this is what I'm doing. Girls, you can do it. No, there are actually technical sessions.
Yeah, that's beautiful, because at the end of the day, that's what I think should happen. Because even when because I run a couple of communities, and one of the things I don't say, you know, this is for men or for women, but number one thing is that I try to make, whenever the time is available, as long as, you know, presenting different principles, practices, and, you know, ideologies, there has to be practicality in most of them, so that you don't just, you know, feel good and think that, you know what, I learned something, whereas you didn't do it. Because I believe in learning by doing.
Yeah, I mean,
especially for sciences. You know, other things you can just learn and have that information and use it in different places. But if you don't do tech,
but you do have women in the GDGs.
Yeah.
You do have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are women in GDGs.
Yes.
But on top of that, women need the space.
Yeah. Why?
We need the space because we are a minority in the field. And we are not receiving sometimes, I mean, now it's not really the case, because a lot of companies and organizations are realizing that we actually need to make it more equal for both men and women.
Yeah.
I am not part of those who think that if there's a job opportunity, we should just give it to women to have balance is, okay, equal men, equal women. No. For me, if you're actually hiring that woman, it means that she actually has the skills.
Yes.
She's not there just to reach a quota. You have to reach a quota of women. No. She actually has to be there because she has the skills.
Yeah.
you know.
And I think that's the right mindset. And I'll tell you why. And that's something else I wanted to tell you. Like you say, women need their space. You know, they're the minority. I was almost saying that, you know, there are other places that women actually are like 90%. Hands down, right? But, you know, we will not find men saying, you know what, we need to equalize. So it's all a matter of like saying...
Give an example.
Give an example. Hospitality, right?
What is hospitality?
That is like hotel, catering and all that.
Even, really? 90% are women?
Yeah.
I was not aware. For me, I see men.
You see men?
Yeah.
But there are places where they are 90%. Yeah. And you have like men who are doing like Indian tasks, like maybe a chef or something.
But then the question is, when those men try to get there, nobody's stopping them. But when women try to get into tech, people are stopping them in some.
That is wrong. And I agree with you. If someone, for instance, want to be, say, a pilot, right? And someone just disqualifies you because you're just a woman, that's purely wrong, actually. I would say even it's criminal.
But it's the reality.
But if you're as good,
even the data is still proving that even women who are doing the same job as a man with the same experience are still being paid. That is why you need all those things. Let me give you an example. Women, even when, I'm generalizing here, when they are raised, they are being told, we let boys play and fail and crash and hurt themselves. But we tell girls, no, don't do that. You're going to harm yourself. True or false? That's what happens.
And that's from point of love. It's not necessary.
Where it's coming from, I'm not going to discuss on people's intentions. But what I do know is that they are taught to be more reserved.
Yeah.
When men are encouraged to test, to go and fail, and when you hurt yourself, they're like, yes, you're a boy, don't cry. And also, by the way, that's putting another kind of pressure on men. But then, when you reach that level, men then dare more because that's how they are raised. Because that's how they are raised. But also, women will dare more. I have a point that I want to show you quickly. Okay. Women will dare more. So that even when it comes, so when I'm saying women are being paid more, paid less, it's for multiple reasons. Men, and that is data, we have the data that proves that men are more likely to negotiate the salary than women. When there's a job opportunity, a man, if he fits in 20-30% of the criteria, maybe 40, like, hey, maybe go, bam. A woman, unless she's like 100% sure that I match the description, she's not applying.
Yeah, there's that,
and that's data. I'm telling you data. It's not just like my environment, because when we have our own environment, we could be biased. But this is data, So there are multiple reasons due to multiple factors, where you grew up, everything, your parents, the way you were raised, a lot of things.
Yeah.
Not every girl had the chance to have parents like me who like, go. Martial arts, go. So many parents don't accept that their girls are going to do martial arts. Ooh, that's such a manly thing, raising your legs, And so we need to be able to open that space so that they know, okay, you can actually negotiate your salary. Do you know that? You can. This is how you do it. You can actually try more. There was a study that was made, and I'm probably not going to relay the fact exactly, but it was. So you put girls in a room and boys in a room, and basically students, and they will be playing a game, kind of like a war game. Okay. So when the students were looking, the girls were playing, nicely and everything. The boys were very aggressive. And then when the students are out, the girls become very aggressive, even better. Yes. Do you know that? Do you know why? Because statistically, when women are more assertive, they are seen to be too severe or too aggressive. But when a man does the same, he's seen to be, actually, a leader, he's displaying some really interesting skills. And women get that very quickly. Even if you cannot put the point on it, they know. They know. So they were not aware that this was a test, but that is exactly what happened. Women know if you are in a professional environment, especially for women in leadership positions, they know if you're wearing pants and you're very straight, people are more likely to categorize that woman as being too severe. She's extra. She's really mean. When a man acting the same way, no, he has strong leaderships.
Wearing the same pants.
It's the pants are just here to but to let you know that she's basically doing her own thing.
Men always wear pants.
Having her own character, doing the same. She would literally. It's like there was even a study that was made again where they would give a scenario. In one scenario, it's a man. They will let you know that it's a man that is doing the thing.
Yeah.
And then they will let people appreciate. And in the other scenario, they'll let you know that it's a woman. The reactions are not the same. But it is exactly the same story. You take two groups. One group will give you one story, but it's a man. The other group will give you the same story, but it's a woman. Obvious.
Yeah.
In one, that lead is very aggressive. It's too extra, very emotional, and all that. But then the other, very, very good.
Let me ask you, Mariam. All factors held constant the way they are right now. Do you think men are required to be more responsible? There's so much expected of them that they feel this pressure of like, you know what? I would prefer maybe to get that job because I need to pay the bills. Maybe I need to take care of, my wife. I need to take care of maybe even my siblings and all that. And I'm not saying that women don't do all that. But when it gets to like where, there's a relationship, which I think you're saying that's not basically the line for all women, which is okay for whoever chooses that. But do you think even over time, there's always even the cultures whereby, a man has to do A, B, C, D, as a man, and for a woman, she needs to be taken care of.